All right, I am live. Sorry I'm late, folks. Stuff came up. Uh, Nobody's here. RM, sorry I'm late. I'm sure you're still hanging out there or not. Just trying to get everything kind of marked out. How I want to handle all this stuff. Here's my Ahsoka reference. Whew, long day. Good. See how far I can get on this. Music playing on my headphones. And I guess I should put some music over here, huh? And behind the curve here. So, background music. And we'll be joining, but I'm still waiting on some stuff. Trying to get set up. It's taking longer than expected. All right. Whew, okay. Let's slide this over so I can look at reference. Start my camera. Recording. So do a replay later. Now let's see. What do I want to do? Grab warm grays. I'm still halfway packed up from the convention, so a lot of my stuff's in my convention bag. Well, I do conventions locally. I have almost my entire, well, not my entire studio. I have almost the entire studio. I can do whatever I get requests for. Okay, now I'm gonna take the 5. I'm just gonna read this. So we get the sun here. We get whatever this disc thing is. Drop in. So the sun's there. So this shadow is going to go all the way across. And this one. In the middle. Start to taper. So it's kind of simulating on this side. Again. And this is casting the shadow this way. It's going to allow for the arc somewhat. Let's see. So we'll say this is going to be shadow here. W1 with the ground planes, some color in there. I need to make the lightsaber blade longer. The same color I'm going to put in this hot, which is kind of like just to help it stand out from the background just a little bit. Not enough to make it obnoxiously different color. And I'm not worried about it being like smooth because that gives it some texture. There's something about like Jedi ruins, they all tend to be kind of deserty looking. Have some texture in the material. That's fine. So, I was able to finish this yesterday, but a lot of this stuff tonight should go fairly quick because it's not as much fine details, more just broad areas. And we'll have to go in and add highlights and shadows and stuff like that. Kind of carried away when they did that one circle right there. Cover up a bit by just taking this ground plane or this border frame right here and violating the edge a bit. Work those pencils down there so that it's visible. One thing with when you use these Copics over pencils, it tends to lock in the pencil so they can't be erased well. So we'll let some texture and stuff maybe hide where the pencil lines came down the side. Add some shading levels. And this is just a warm gray. You can add some different levels of gray too. We're going to come in with colored pencil and put in some highlights along the edges and stuff where like light bleeds over the edge of the shape. That's a W1. And we'll do a W2. And we'll do the same thing. We'll just drop in some more slightly darker shadows, but not enough to make it overpowering. And we want stuff. It's want there to be like levels of shadows and stuff. Okay, bank leg kind of loose. That's W2, go up to W4. With some deeper shadows. You know, these edges should be darker. Now, let's see, some light maybe hit the top part of this, but we'll. Random dots and dashes to help create some texture in this surface. Again, the main light source is over here, so shadows will run this way. Now, I'll be the first to admit my perspective on this is just simulated. It's not accurate. I got a friend that does like backgrounds and animation. Because I'm crazy every time I watch them do like just kind of hints of perspective, but not accurate perspective. Ron, if you're watching, love you, man. I know my lackadaisical attitude toward perspective goes wrong nuts. So layering is W4, we'll go up to W5. We're going to put in some even deeper shadows. It's all just kind of building up. Just here, that's been setting up. No worries. Again, we're trying to help cover up for the lines. So put some texture out here in the ground plane. Can't get rid of the pencil, but I can camouflage it. Make it harder to tell where it was. We figure there's some light coming through the ring, so we can have some light hitting the steps behind her. One more level of grays. This is to be a darker, dark gray. That's a good spot. One second for the iron. The link for StreamYard. Orange gonna jump in the stream with me, I think. So let me send the link. Link should be in the chat over there. I'm going to use now. Check up here. Good. All right. Let's get the base colors in on Grogu. And I'm going to look up Grogu real quick. I didn't print out a reference for Grogu. I have a reference for Ahsoka, so I have her colors and stuff, so I can see all that. But I did not print out for Grogu. Obviously, I know he's green, and his suit is kind of a burlap tan. His eyes, they look almost full black, but they're not. If you actually look at him up close, he does have pupils. It's just that he doesn't have whites in his eyes. He has like dark gray and then black pupil. Not that I've ever drawn before. All right, so I'm going to find a pale green. So I gotta get a pale green. One of the things you'll see, I test because working on tone paper, everything tends to look darker than it would on white, obviously, because it's blending with the tan. I think that's a good base. So I can drop in all the green bits. I should have left some in the ear blank, but that's okay. I can add pink over the top of that for kind of the rosiness inside the ears. He's another one. He's got like a lot going on texture-wise, so I'm not worried about like kind of streaks so much. Put down here, I can't remember. his jacket, duster, whatever you want to call it, is almost the same color as the paper. So I think we may just let the paper stand. And I'll grab like a warm gray. We'll figure out where the shadows would be. Actually, it's all in shadow, but where the heavier shadows would be. So, it's hard to tell here, but he's got his other arms going up on her shoulder.
Took me a little bit. I got me a little sketch done before stream, so yeah. Yeah, I'm here.
You're doing an Ahsoka too. That's cool.
Yeah, we currently right now we have company staying, so I had to migrate out of the usual room I record in. So I had to wait till everybody went to bed, which luckily for me, I'll just stay up a little later than I usually do because I wanted to work on this anyways. So hopefully you had a good day.
Yeah, it's my wife's birthday tomorrow, so we went out to a family dinner, but it kind of threw me off a little bit late.
Oh, that's cool.
A lighter green.
Right now, all I have access to, because I forgot my other big brushes, and I ain't going to go hunt for them, so I'm gonna just use the smaller one that I got and try to adapt. Kind of just try to work with what I got. Well, hopefully your wife has a good, happy birthday.
Yeah. No big plans, but dinner was kind of a last minute thing. I scheduled this and then found out I'm going to dinner. Oh, okay. To dinner.
Well, you gonna go to Red Lobster or somewhere kind of fancy but not too fancy?
Oh no, well, we went out for hot pot. I don't know if you know what that is.
Ah. Well, at least whatever's in budget works.
This one was orange.
Yeah.
Gray, and again, I know it's going to look black on camera, but it's going to be gray in the eyes.
Yeah. Well, part of it's just shadowing, like a bit of shadow because this stand, I will say on my end at least.
Yeah.
That I tried to make sure there's a lot of lighting. Hopefully, to make up for at least on my end.
Okay.
Trying to figure out I will because of the stand I'm using, but I'm simultaneously I did manage to grab a good oil marker, so even if the coloring's a little bit off on the face, I'm just gonna have to go with the flow and hope to God it looks good near the end. I can always correct things later on. But yours looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I've done Ahsoka a few times, and each time it gets a little bit easier.
Yeah, first time it's a pain in the butt because of the horns and some of the tattoos and stuff, trying to shade the face because it's all orange. It's funny. The last time I did a drawing of Ahsoka, and I was saying how complicated at one point to a friend, how it complicated it is to shade someone who's all orange. And then they made the political joke where they said, "Oh, that's funny. The only person that in real life we know that's all orange is that was our former president, and he's not really too easy to. He's pretty easy to draw." A giant man child. And I just rolled my eyes because they have that type of sense of humor. uh, I don't usually, I stay out of politics or any of that, but occasionally if a joke is just somewhat a little bit ironic or funny, I always find it weird when it comes to friends. Hey, who knows? I watched a little bit of the new show though, the Ahsoka show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's only 3 episodes, and they're mixed lengths. So the first one's like 45 minutes, and the next one's 30. And
yeah, it's okay. It's all right for.
I'm enjoying it. I'm a Rosario Dawson fan. So,
I will say how it connects to Rebels is pretty cool. Kind of connecting the dots back there. I know Rebels wasn't the best.
They did one scene that's right off the end of Rebels.
Yeah.
I mean, like almost verbatim. The costumes are slightly different, but other than that, it's being from Rebels. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean,
I think in retrospect nowadays, like I think a lot of people are starting to get a little burnt out on Star Wars because you just keep expanding on this giant, large timeline, and it's just kind of like at a certain point, it's like, when do we stop? It's like a bit of fatigue.
Yeah, well,
Almost.
I'm enjoying it. I'm an older guy, as you know, and like I really liked Andor, and I know a lot of people that weren't crazy about Andor because it didn't have any Jedi or anything. But
yeah,
because I'm older, I can appreciate the political intrigue a little bit more.
Yeah, it's funny because I was looking at a lot of different Star Wars stuff, and I stumbled across this like what if, because it was I think it was a part of like a mini series by Channel Awesome. I think it's called like Fanscription. And I think one of the brothers, it was like a Star Wars episode, and they were talking about what was it? I think it was about Return of the Jedi, and it was basically rewriting that film to where like, because of like they kind of pointed out some flaws with it that I never really thought of. How it was very it didn't match really the tone that was set by the what was it? By Empire Strikes Back, and also just a lot of like moments in it are kind of like very, I don't know, I wouldn't say undercut, but I think they just don't work. They didn't work as well as the way they could have. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, huh, it's not wrong. And the way he rewrote the film was pretty cool too. Pulling some of the sequel elements was pretty neat. He actually, I think he wrote the film and he changed Endor, I think, into the way. I think he took the element from what was it? I'm trying to remember. I think it was from the newer films. Just kind of rewrote it that way, I guess. I don't know. I have a very fuzzy memory sometimes. It goes in and out. But it was a pretty cool thing. at the time, at least. Yeah. I just haven't been keeping up too much with the Star Wars stuff lately. I've paid attention to some stuff. I'm a gamer. And an artist. So I get a bit of both sides where I get to have fun.
I'm looking for a medium gray. I see through here somewhere. I don't know where to do it. For. Trying to put some shadows on for the tender things. You get compound shadows. You get light source in the sky. You get light source at her legs. So you got to kind of both a little bit.
I think that's the one problem with my stuff is like I've done like stuff like this, like mini things. I eventually want to sell some of them at some point. Like little, like this one, like Scorpion here.
Hold on a second. I'm going to mute myself for a second.
Oh, you're all good. Leon and stuff from Ori and a few other things. Like I have plenty of stuff that I work on my channel. But I will say one flaw that I have noticed that I've picked up on, but I haven't really corrected because I don't know how to correct it. Self-taught is shadowing and stuff and depth, or at least trying to figure that out with like single prints. So, yeah.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
You're all good. Like I was saying, I said I think the one problem with my single work is like I don't have like a clear, like some of the stuff I do, like I've done like single prints. I want to plan on selling them, but I'm just trying to figure out how at some point.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to sell my stuff, so maybe more help there.
Like it's some artists get like I think there's like a few that like I know that get it easier. I think Scott Christian Sava, you know, he's like I think one of the many artists on YouTube. I know Alex Ross has his channel. I know Jim Lee has his.
Well, yeah, but those guys are long established published artists, you know.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, I don't know about Scott. I think he's in between on that front. I think. I don't know. I would have to research on the fronts. On some fronts.
Jim Lee is the freaking CEO of DC Comics.
Yeah, I know that. Like with him, that's a given. He's well established. Like he
shouldn't have any problem selling anything.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to remember one of the guys that worked at Image. I think he was like, I don't know if he was Samoan or he was like, I don't know if he was Hawaiian. I'm trying to remember which one it was, but he was one of the ones that was on that that one thing where they were all him, Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, and I'm trying to remember the other one. They were all like with Stan, and they were like, and the two that were the biggest anatomy ones were that I can't remember his name, but him and Jim Lee. And I wonder if he still does stuff, you know.
What do you mean the anatomy ones? I'm not sure what you mean.
Yeah, anatomy.
I don't know what you mean by that though. I know what anatomy means. I'm not sure what you mean. Like they were anatomy guys. I don't understand what you mean.
Like anatomy, like they know more about it. They more use it more than the other two did. Like
Oh,
hardcore, like just like they use it more in their style than like where Todd McFarlane and I think Rob Liefeld, I think it was Liefeld, yeah. They kind of like it's more they use it, but they don't use it as frequently.
oh.
They kind of twist it and use it to their
Liefeld's pretty loose with his anatomy.
Yeah, he's neutral to it. With me, I'm kind of in between. I don't really rely on anatomy for a lot of things. I think I will use it if I'm using doing a piece, but I think I more just kind of rely and let my look at something long enough and figure it out as I'm doing it, and if it looks as good later, then I'm just gonna roll with it.
Well, I mean, I try to have a fairly good grasp of anatomy. I mean, I'm no expert.
Yeah, I know I ain't no expert.
I studied anatomy, for sure. I'm studying.
Like I still make mistakes now and again.
Fighter balloon go over the grades. Her costume has like hints of blue in it, even though it's a lot of gray.
Yeah. I've been trying to keep up with a lot of different entertainment stuff lately. I know that there's like a lot of movies and a lot of stuff that's coming out. I know, like you guys were mentioning, in like I know The Nun, that horror. There's a lot of horror stuff. I know that in October there's like a FNAF movie that's coming out.
I don't keep up with all that stuff, but I still draw it.
Yeah. For me, it's kind of like if I'm super bored, or it's something I'm into, and I try to keep up with it. So like, I think for video games is the biggest thing for me, for entertainment purposes, and also for some stuff that I can draw. Like for Alan Wake 2 was coming out. Like I was like, I know I'm gonna do like a painting, like little print of him. Like, so I tried to get as close as I could using like one little reference, and like the rest was just me trying to improvise. Like I did like a mini sketch in pencil, and then the rest I painted. Which that was in between. It took me forever though. At least to like get the sketch down, and it's funny when and I didn't realize this, but until I looked a lot closer at some of the screenshots. But when that game was first revealed, and it was like a live action mixed type of gameplay thing. When it was first revealed, I thought they had Jake I don't know if it was the guy who played Mysterio. I had to look deeper. I think it was Jake Gyllenhaal or something. I always have a problem.
Yeah, Gyllenhaal, you're close.
Yeah, pronouncing the last name. It looked almost like him for a bit, and I was like, wait a minute, hold on a second. And I had to look deeper, and I was like, maybe it was close, because he's played characters with very long hair and that beard he's had. So it was like, for me, it was like, I wonder. So, yeah. At least for me, I think I always find that, for entertaining purposes, so I'm not always drawing. I try to be like a mixed bag of knowing my playing games, especially on the channel, because I find like it keeps me a little fresh where I'm doing a bit of like both of like a hobby and the stuff and something that I'm also passionate about, which is drawing and painting and stuff. So it's like it keeps me it keeps me sane, at least I should say, in a
Well,
way.
I only stream art, really. I mean, but I don't
Yeah,
stream as regularly as a lot of people. Like, we do the
yeah,
drinking club every Wednesday. That's the regular thing. But beyond that, there's a lot of flexibility.
yeah. For me, like I try to stream somewhat regularly, like because I have a harder time doing regular videos because of like I'm doing everything from my phone, and that takes a lot longer, and it also takes a lot longer to record and like find a thumbnail, find a title that I'm happy with, figure out what I want to record, and it's kind of like it's a very mixed bag. I think I've dabbled in a little bit of animation because I've gotten bored and tried out some different stuff, just to see like what stuff besides just doing regular art that I'm happy with, because it's like, I know a lot of people like certain stuff, they subscribe for like certain things, like they want to see stuff, but it's like I guess I found like I want to do stuff that I'm happy with and try to stick with doing like a mixed thing of like being happy with what I'm putting out, and also just in general just knowing what I'm going to do. My problem is just consistency, and that's really like putting myself to the task of having a schedule is very hard. um and I've never really I've wanted to do like I've wanted to do more like collabs and art stuff with people, and it's always fun like working with other artists and just like just for like a moment, just having like fun conversations and just chatting, because we're
Yeah.
all just people at the end of the day. um, so it makes it more entertaining and fun.
Well, I mean, I started streaming during the pandemic. I mean, that was my way of like maintaining my mental health and
Yeah.
reaching out to people, other people that needed stuff to do. I met a lot of people during the pandemic, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah, like it's funny because like when like it's funny. I think I found your channel just randomly through like you just streaming something, and I was like, this is cool, and just and ever since then I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah,
um,
well, I mean, I've always opened up the channel to like anybody that wants to come in. I mean, I've had trolls in the past, but for the most part, I've had pretty good luck.
yeah, like I guess. Yeah, sometimes for the trolls, it's like if it's like the troll, like depending on if it's like for me, it's like if somebody I usually don't hide too many comments or like remove many things unless it's like it's to a point where it's like it's annoying. But like usually I kind of just ignore the trolling, just because like if it's just them just being just screwing around and it's nothing mean spirited. Like if they say something completely obnoxious, or say something just out of the question of like, yeah, you're gone. Like that's like where I draw lines. But if it's like playful, just messing around, like it's like a friend thing. If how I treat it, it's like when that you always have that one friend, like you're all you just that loves messing around and being a doofus. It's kind of how I treat it, I guess. It's like
Yeah,
that one. It's like that one friend that at the bar that just enjoys just like making a fool of themselves. it's like it's like one of those. Even though I've never been to a bar, but I've seen enough movies to know how that crap works. wish I had my bigger brushes, but I'm kind of just working with this very small one. It's like I'm working with a pen. Kind of having to adapt. I'll probably like refine a lot of things with like gouache paint and stuff later. Who knows? That would be one of my one of the dogs yawning, just like tired. Dogs, lovely. They wouldn't. They depending on the dog, they'll love you no matter what.
Well, maybe you keep yourself for just a second again.
Yeah. I think I will say it's fun, ironic because I don't know if you saw it, but no, you're all good.
Sorry, I felt I was really losing time with the stray kittens again. We have cats living in the garage. Okay.
No, you're all good. I'm just trying to remember what I was gonna say. I was bringing up dogs, and I was thinking of a movie that's coming out. And now I remember. There's that movie coming out, Strays, and it's ironic. It's funny that I mentioned that because they I showed the trailer to my dad, and he was just like, he's like, well, this is a movie that we're not going to see in the theater. Well, I'm not paying to see this.
I think I'm with your dad. That movie looks stupid to me.
Like, I'm just gonna binge watch it or something. Just have a fun watch. But I ain't seeing that in the theater. I think the premise is like a rated R version of like a dog road trip movie and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't blame you though. I don't know about it. It's in concept.
I mean, it's obviously targeted with the people that are fans of those actors. But it didn't do much for me. I don't even get these flag things are. I just thought, it'd be kind of cool to have like things blowing in the wind or something. I could put these elements in. It's like just to create this sci-fi background.
I think the premise is funny though. Plus, I think the first trailer. I think that was just the whole thing of like, dogs trying to get their revenge on a crappy owner. It's kind of like, wow, it's stupid when you think about it, but it's also funny.
Like I said, I think I'm with your dad. The movie doesn't do it for me. It's at least the trailer did.
Yeah, I'm not a super fan of it. I just think it's a little bit one of those amusing, dumb things that you can just laugh at. But I agree with both of you though.
To me,
I
that's
wouldn't.
something I'll sketch on Netflix, or whenever it comes to streaming, I'll sketch it. I would love to see that. But I mean, for those people that like that stuff, this is the thing: is like people get so defensive and stuff about movies and entertainment. Like, hey, like what you like, if that's
Yeah, it's
that's
like
cool.
you have it feels like you can't say nothing without somebody getting offended. I'm like, even if like you're joking around or have like a sarcasm joke, it's like to play on somebody, you know, they didn't like somebody to say something, but then like you just jokingly try to say it like just to have fun, and then they just kind of like treat it like you're being an asshole completely, and it's like or just getting offended at the smallest things is just like ridiculous. Everybody gets offended. It's like you can't take a piss without somebody getting offended about something about it.
I think you get the bounce from that, you get the bounce from the lightsabers. I think it's on low on the peoples.
I think probably mine. I'm gonna probably redo mine at some point. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to. I'm not really super happy with it. I can always just do it later, but I still need to finish something else, anyways. And it's a good opportunity to do so. So I think for the rest, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna cheat. I want to do something a little different. I need to finish this one up at some point, so. Probably gonna work on my Ahsoka a little bit more off camera at some point tomorrow and refine it with different stuff.
No worries.
But so for right now, I'm gonna work on a sketch I already had, or not really sketch, but a thing I'm already need to finish, and I haven't had the chance to work on it in a while. Which you'll probably see. The Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Hoping to eventually make it maybe a print at some point. If I can get them copied and maybe sell them at a local thing where I am.
Okay.
Maybe. maybe. Should be fun. Might have to eventually. I could do it. Even have a mini shop at some point. I don't know. Who knows? I'm not a very big technical guy. It makes my head hurt.
Well, I don't tend to sell prints myself because most of the stuff I draw is not my property. So
yeah, like I don't own half the characters I do, but I guess I think it's like it can be considered like fan art or something. So it's like it kind of makes up.
I sell originals, but I don't sell prints.
Oh.
But that's why I'll never get rich doing this. I don't have that mentality.
Oh yeah, like it's same here. It's like I know. It's like there's no way in hell I'm going to get rich from doing some stuff. It's just kind of like whim of the moment. Having fun is like the main goal.
So now we're trying to put some of the lighting from the lightsaber into the costume. So this is one of the things that I've been really working on, is trying to get my lighting and colors more.
Yeah, I think that's one of my big nitpicks with some of my painted prints is like I don't really, because I'm working with watercolor a lot of the time. I can't really, I can't really completely do like lighting or go real detailed the way I would want to.
Well, you can with watercolor. It's just it takes more control. You have to be patient when you're working with watercolor to get good decent lighting. I've dabbled with watercolor too. Just I forget my nature spirits.
I'll keep it in mind. I'll try. I'll
Yeah,
probably
I mean, I'm not a watercolor expert, but I know it can be done, and but it takes some patience.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. So this is and I got to get back on this. This is what I call my nature spirits project. So I was just drawing like different. And this is what I was using to get better with watercolor. Let me do myself up so.
Huh. Cool.
Okay, so this is a watercolor sketchbook. This is the first one.
I have to look into that myself.
This is one of the things where I've been working on the last year, just trying to get more color. That's why I went to watercolor. And plus, I want to take watercolor like a plein air kit with people like conventions, so I don't have to carry so many markers and stuff.
Yeah.
But this is the first one, and it's okay. But I mean, every piece I learned something.
Something new and
lighting. And this has actually got some metallic watercolors in it. You really don't check on camera.
Yeah.
My pencils have to be very light on my watercolors. And it's, but yeah, you can get lighting and stuff. It's just you can't force it. You have to be patient, and a lot of times you have to leave paper going through to get the brighter spot.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's my nature spirit project. I've got about 12 of them so far. I mean, you want to fill up this book, and then I'm gonna.
Yeah, you're all
good. This is all my original ones. So this is I can do prints of this stuff. I'll probably get like a coffee table printed up. Like
yeah, that's pretty cool.
This is one I stopped on, but I need to get back to this so we can have a bunch of leaves around it. Kind of a face paper.
Yeah. Me, I practically ran out, but I do have like a spare type of watercolor type paper that I'm using for some of these. Like the ones I was using for half the other prints I was doing. I think it was like an art. I'm trying to think of the name. Art Salza or Art something. It's like something with a. I'm trying to remember, but. It was like that type of paper, and it kind of helped. It was easy to pull out to make it.
If you're using watercolors, you definitely want watercolor paper.
Oh yeah, can't use the single crap. Trust me, I've tried once and it ended horribly. It was probably it just did not end very well. It was very bookly, and I was just like, crap. I'm using a very small brush, and it's probably something I should not be using for regular painting, but it's like a very thin tipped brush. probably something for like very, very keen details, like small stuff. Kind of. Probably try to use one of these dollar store brushes for a second. See if that makes a difference. I know these things are practically crap when it comes to a lot of things, but.
It's concerted effort to put more color in. It really slows me down, but I think the results are better.
Yeah.
You know, I've practiced different things over the years. So, like when I do conventions and I do commissions at conventions, I train myself to work very fast, so I can get somebody's
I think,
commission ready about an hour or two.
yeah. For me, I don't think I think I could try practicing that. I think for me, a lot of my I think because I paint, I think it takes a lot longer for me. So it like if I wanted to do like a print for somebody at a convention, I think it would probably for one person it probably would take 2 hours, and I don't want to imagine how it would be for multiple because I think it'd be a lot harder for me to do that. I think even if I would want it to be simple, I think it's like one of those things where you want something simple, but it's really not simple.
Well, it's conditioning. You know, you can the more you do it, like you'll figure out tips and tricks for yourself, like how to make things easier.
Yeah.
And I mean, one of the things that because I do everything traditionally. Um, I don't have like undo, so I learn how to cover up mistakes. Or
Oh yeah, those.
hello, hi from Albania, Alabama. Is it Albania, Alabama?
Oh, well, hello to them.
Okay. Or is AL mean something else? AL to me is Alabama. Albania. Albania is a country, though. Is there not, is it? Well, hello to whoever you are in Albania, Fred Hassan. Yeah, Fred.
Hopefully, they're having a good time wherever they are. I've never been good with countries myself.
Yeah, it's a kind of a problem with the U.S. Education system.
Oh yeah.
We tend to
Well,
be we tend to be U.S. centric in our education, so geography and
yeah. Well,
stuff
for
like
me,
that.
it's more mostly just I never really. I was it was for me it took a lot longer in class for me to figure out stuff, and I think it was just mixture of like a learning disability and then there's sometimes it was just me just not wanting to pay attention. So I was just like, if it was something I was not interested in, there would be just a big old like thing of like in my brain I was just like, I don't care, must find escape. uh so I just would sleep. I would sleep during class. I would try to find a way to sleep or just pretend like I was sleeping so I would not have to pay attention. I was a little turd like that. uh uh and I can admit it, I was a turd. Oh man. I think I've never really done any art though at a convention or any of that stuff. Haven't gotten that opportunity yet. So
We've
I
been
might.
conventions here in Hawaii for about 10 years. But, you know, I mean, I have a small following here, but because I won't have any published work, I think that really hurts, you know.
Yeah.
I should have a comic out. I should have a self-published comic out by the end of the year. See how that goes.
That's cool. Yeah, I think for me, I'm trying to plan on before, I know college starts. It just turned September today. I would say day now. It's nighttime where I am. But it's like I know there's like a little art show thing. I think sometime around like spring. So I know I'm gonna try to get a part of that and try to sell some prints and get some stuff done and worked on.
Okay, so it does mean Albania, the country. The country where Mother Goose comes from, and Jim Belushi. I did not know Jim Belushi was Albanian.
Well, that's cool. Well, welcome. Hopefully you enjoy. I guess. From Hawaii and the U.S.
Well, Hawaii is part of the U.S., dang it.
I think it is. I was because we were in two different locations.
No.
Fuck.
We get that all the time because we call the continental U.S. the mainland, but we get people from the mainland all the time forget that Hawaii is part of the U.S.
Yeah, it's like for me, I just like I'm never. I was always confused on how all this like different stuff worked with, you know, some of this stuff. It was always confusing for me, especially. I think even now it's always confusing just figuring that stuff out. You okay? Nightmare? One of the dogs whining.
Fred, what time is it in Albania? It's like I'm in Hawaii, so like 8 at night, and RM is somewhere in the U.S. where it's about
it's
1 in the morning.
I think it's like 2:05 at night. So I think it would be kind of like morning-ish night type thing. So it's extremely late for me.
Albania's 12 hours off, probably a day ahead too. I'm guessing it's probably Friday morning there. Does that sound right, Fred?
I guess.
Fred, what made you watch this? Are you an Ahsoka fan? Or are you just bored?
Any entertainment's good entertainment in my book. This is coming from someone who adores the Austin Power movies for their cheesiness and amazingness at the same time.
Well, I mean, I was an Austin Powers fan.
Yeah, I love me some Austin Powers. I will say, I don't know. I will say, speaking of comedians and because of Austin Powers and stuff, I think I was rewatching on the other day on YouTube. I was looking at like Fluffy. I think at some points, he's been to Hawaii to do shows at a.
Oh yeah, I've seen Gabriel Iglesias.
I think
That's fluffy. Gabriel Iglesias.
yes, Gabriel Iglesias. Big old fluffy. Man, I would love to meet him. He's just amazing. He's an amazing guy or person.
He seems pretty cool. I mean, I didn't get to meet him. I did see him in a concert here in Hawaii.
Yeah.
He did a military concert on I think
Yeah,
it went
like
from.
I
Oh, Fred's got a joke. Uh, this could be dangerous. Okay, Fred, go ahead. Tell us the joke.
oh, here we go.
All right, Fred, type it in. We're waiting.
If it's not these are not the droids you're looking for, I'm gonna say Obi-Wan has already beat you to that. I got one better. Two Wookiees go to a bar. Oh, never mind. That joke that never lands.
What is the difference of condom and wife? Yeah, this was probably going to get us in trouble. What's the difference between? What's the difference? Condom. All right, Fred. What's the punchline?
I know why it's the reason why I find it funny is because if any married man it will tell you what the punchline could be. It's the difference between having kids and not. If you're in that type of relationship with the wife. Oh boy. I'm already laughing and I haven't even got to the punchline. I just find it funny because it's an inappropriate joke. Me and my 20s. I don't care.
You know what? My stream is rated mature, so
Uh,
my kids or anything. So I'm not in for gratuitous stuff, but
yeah, I guess I have a very naughty, ornery sense of humor from time to time. That's just coming from someone who watched George Carlton and a lot of the ornerier comedians a little bit at growing up. I grew up with a lot of leanway, a little bit from time to time, when things were somewhat okay when I was little. I would watch a lot of stuff I grew up with, and then I got back into it when I got older. Like when I was in my teens, I think I got more into like comedy and stuff. So for me, I love a lot of different comedians and stuff like Robin Williams, George Carlton, Richard Pryor. I think I don't remember Sam
you
Kinelson.
mean George Carlin, right? Is that, I think.
Yeah, Carlin. I always say Carlton. I like freaking from freaking what was it? Fresh Prince of Bel Air. I always mispronounce it and say Carlton, and it's Carlin, and I always it's like I was like,
I just want to make sure I'm understanding.
yeah,
I was pretty sure you meant George Carlin. But I just want to make
yeah.
sure.
I met George Carlin. I just I always mispronounce that part out of just pure weirdness.
Well, I mean, you did have your dyslexia to deal with too. So.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, the dyslexia is a pain in the freaking butt.
Let's see. The punchline is, what is the difference of condom and wife? And the punchline is, they stay all the tame on.
They all tame on walled.
I'm not sure I get that. Yeah.
Unless he means like
Stay
because
on-
being married during fun time it can be messy.
No, he's kind of like you. He's they stay all the time in the wallet.
Oh, I think I got it. It's kind of funny.
So the condom spends all his time in the wallet.
Oh. Oh, I get it. Now I get it. It's funny. Well, then again, I don't have. I wouldn't. I don't. Well, I wish more teenage boys, more specifically, would actually wear the damn things, or they wouldn't be. They wouldn't that like squirrels or certain animals. They wouldn't be mass producing so much. Terrible in execution of a joke, but great in context. Oh boy. Right now I'm using like a dollar store cheapy brush for added effect for like adding like a fire background, as it's like because it's mostly relying on shade of like darkness, so I'm kind of like mixing like a fire background in for a little bit, because I was using when I did this sketch I was using sorry I think Scorpion from Mortal Kombat X's design and all that. Funny enough, I got a Star Wars joke. It's funny because I was watching. I was playing around at one point with the Google thing, and I never forgot this. But Dad at one point changed it up. At one point, we were joking around about it, and it was like he said, I think it was like, hey, I don't know if it was like Siri or a Google thing, and he said, tell me a joke, and then I think it got to a one where it said, how does Darth Vader like his steak on the dark side? And then Dad changed his like, why don't you tell like why is it we change it? Well, how does Darth Vader like his women on the dark side? And I was like, Dad, shut up. I wouldn't actually. I was more of like we just occasional play around and shut up.
Well,
Not a disrespectful.
Your dad's doing a variation on an old coffee joke. How do you like my coffee? Like my women, strong and black? Or?
Pretty much, yeah. It was him playing around with that. Yeah. Yeah, it was funny. It still makes me chuckle. Plus, I think the other reason I'm I decided to do like a Mortal Kombat Scorpion. I think it was because Mortal Kombat. I think they're remaking the series, so they're doing like Mortal Kombat 1, and so I thought, in celebration of that, I would do like a Scorpion thing. I was gonna do Sub-Zero as well, but I was like, nah, that'll take too much time. And if I'm gonna do that, then I would have to figure out a different pose and figure out using like a reference. I would have to figure out that stuff, and I was like, nah, I'm too lazy to fool with that right now. I have too many other prints I still need to do. Oh boy. I tried to charge my phone up a little bit before stream. I was thinking it was like at 50 something, and then I think it's probably
don't know.
Probably last me for a while.
What else I want to do?
Yeah.
I'm getting close. Getting down to like niggling little details.
Always was curious why you do some of those sketches on the back of the book and not on the paper, and then I realized because of the neatness of like the way the back is, it probably fits better with like the coloring and stuff. It's better to use.
This is the color of the paper.
Oh, I always thought it was like the back of the book.
No, I like toned paper because like when you put white on the tone, it really pops.
Ah, I see.
Whereas
because I was always looking at it and I was thinking it was like the back of the book, and I never really realized that was paper.
Yeah, no, this is a tone paper book. So all the papers that color.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I just kind of like to look at the tone paper.
Yeah, I think I tried using a little bit of that style of paper once, and I wasn't too sure about it. And I probably might dabble in like different medias here or there, like not just like stuff, but painting.
The thing that got me started on tone paper is when I would go to my local comic shop, pick up my comics for the week. I would do a sketch while I was in the store, and what they would give me is the divider boards that the shipments came in, which is like a cardboard. It's tone. So that's how I learned. That's how I got started on tone paper. And
I think
I really developed an affinity for it. So now I buy tone paper sketchbooks. This is a sketchbook brand I found on Amazon called Miltech, and I'm really liking it. It's a nice warm gray. I've used other warm grays too, but I'm really liking the Miltech. It's also a heavy stock. This is 80-pound paper, I think. Or 107 pounds. So this is a heavy tone paper, whereas like most of the Stratfords and stuff are like 80 pounds or 60 pounds. So this paper's a lot heavier. So
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Because I'm doing drawings, I try to sell my art. I want to have stuff that's going to stand up and store and.
For me, I'm still trying to figure out my whole thing of like, I think in one of my shorts I published on the channel, I think I was wondering, I even asked, I said I've been doing a lot of these different prints lately. I'm thinking about selling them or put them like making a shop or doing something at some point in the future, and I think and I was checking the comments, and I even said like which one should I do next, and I think I got one suggestion, and I think one of my subscribers she said, oh, she definitely would buy the Springtrap one, and I was like I will definitely keep that in consideration. So I'm still working on thinking of like how I'm gonna do stuff. Still working on that, and then I'm also gonna try to think like, well, price wise, I don't want to be unreasonable, because like I know these are paintings, they do take a lot of time, but then again, I also don't want to be like, I gotta have to balance like my time and also just like other stuff. Like everybody's situation is different.
Every artist has a conundrum trying to figure out what to sell their art for. So
yeah.
I
think for me, I was like I could do like $5 for one for print, and I think, but I then like, would that be too low? And I was like, it's like you never can find something you're really happy with, because it's like you can't win but lose, it feels like.
I'm using the very cheapy dollar store brushes to save up on time. That, and because I don't want to use the small brush for the whole thing. It's kind of like saving up on time and shade. There we go. Gives me a good detail work.
I'm just taking one last look here. I need to sign it yet. Anything else I need to do?
Yeah. Probably let mine dry overnight. Basement.
This is a paint pen. See ya. You finish the scorpion? You calling
Yeah,
it
I'm
done?
pretty much done. I have I'll probably do some more work on it.
Let me bring it up single RM. We'll take a quick look at the scorpion itself.
Yep.
You gonna do something with the suit still? I see you got
I'm still gonna
to
paint. I still gotta paint some of the what's it called, and probably do a little bit of background for the print, or figure out something for the background. I don't really know. Because I know this part I gotta have like a shading for like a muscle for like his arm, and like have it where it's like it still can be told like it's his arm, but it's more in the shadow of like, or maybe it's gonna be like half lit through here, and maybe I don't really know.
Well, the outer edge would catch a little bit of the light from the fire behind him.
Yeah, that was me just adding like a little bit of light fire of like he just appeared and like some of it's fading upward and it's going back to black. I don't know. I was trying to think of a cool idea of like something new to add instead of it just being a black background, because one thing is like I was like I've done that a little bit before with some other prints, like this one for Alan Wake 2, or I've done minor stuff. Like I've done like Dante here, or other character paintings. I think the closest one I think it's what I was trying to mimic was this one for Resident Evil and stuff. I've done other ones. Yeah, I probably will do like a little bit more work. Trying to figure out some stuff. I know I need to brighten up some areas and figure out some stuff.
Well, here, Scott, who was in the stream with us last night, when Arm said he was working on Scorpion last night. I don't know why I didn't associate with Mortal Kombat. When you said you were working on a Scorpion, I guess he didn't put it together with Mortal Kombat.
It's all good. To be honest, like there's been so many different Scorpions. You have one from Marvel, and you have an actual Scorpion. You got like, yeah, it's yeah. I've done a lot of different stuff. I even have like the first thing I ever painted in a single print format was like Nathan Drake here from Uncharted. I've been doing a lot of like just single prints and stuff. I think one of my subscribers suggested I do Princess Peach, which I think that one turned out pretty good. I need to do more female characters, but I'm just kind of like, oh, I'm so iffy. There's like certain ones I want to do, and then there's certain ones that are those same ones are also hard to do.
Well, see, this is another thing, that I had to put a concentrated effort into. So for the longest time, I drew all the dude heroes. Like I'm a Hulk fan, so I like the big physical guy.
Yeah.
I wasn't really good at drawing women, and I'm still working on it, but.
Yeah,
I made a
like,
concerted effort to draw a lot of women, and it's
oh
paying
yeah,
off.
like for me, it's extremely hard. It is extremely hard to draw women, and it's no offense to the women themselves. It's just you don't want to screw it up or offend them if you did it wrong. Because the last thing you need is Karen coming after you. Now you did this wrong. I don't know why I made the Karen have a bumpkin voice, but whatever. It works. Oh boy. Yeah. But yeah, it's coming together. I added the flame effect on stream, so for me, I was just using this like dollar store type brush and just kind of gently, adding like a faded up flame effect. Because I was trying to remember some of the things they did with him in Mortal Kombat. I remember like he did a lot of teleporting with like flames circling around. And I was like, if I was to do that, that would kind of make it go too far around, and that was real difficult. I think that 13, it's not too bad. Yeah, I've never been good at playing the Mortal Kombat games, but I enjoy watching them from time to time. Just because they're like, it's like watching an action movie that's just ridiculous fun and just people. It's like watching wrestling. It's always fun seeing people get their asses kicked. For some weird reason, where it's like the gladiators in Greek mythology. It's just like we enjoy seeing people get their asses kicked in. For some weird reason.
As long as it's not ours.
Exactly. Pretty much. As long as it's not ours, I think we're all good. Oh crap. Man. Yeah, I think with my channel, I try to balance doing like art stuff and gaming stuff, just because it's like gaming's like my
I'm not
hobby.
a gamer so much. I get it. I mean, there's a lot of, especially on Twitch. You stream mostly to YouTube or Twitch?
YouTube. I don't really have a Twitch. Funny enough, like I know a lot of
the Twitch guys are gamer artists.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like I try to balance like doing two things I love doing, like playing games, because playing games also inspires me to do like art for like a print. Like let's say I play a game and I see something I like in it, or a character that I want to end up drawing and doing a print of, which would be pretty cool. That's always fun. I think, at least for me, I know a lot of people. I think a lot of people on the channel, I guess, enjoy both. I think it's really fun to do both, just for the heck of it. Plus, I love painting, so for me, it's like more fun to like balance that too. I'm no Alex Ross, but then again,
not many people are.
Oh no. I think the only few that come close is like
think the originals that Alex was based on, anyways, Norman Rockwell and all them.
Yeah. And if you like Alex Ross, look at. All right, Scott. Have a good night. Scott saying good night.
Well, have a good night, Scott.
Watch it on Facebook and YouTube. I don't know.
I don't have Facebook.
Well, thank you. I saw that message briefly. I'll rewatch the stream later and
Scott was in the stream with us last time. He's he drew the Ahsoka in kind of the more cartoony style.
I see.
In the animated series.
Well, that's cool. I know. I will say. I love when last stream. It was hilarious. Because I was in the chat with I think your guys' female friend who came back when you guys were talking about the whole stripper names and like we were both just kind of like, what the? It just like those. It was like a WTF moment of like, well, alrighty then.
Yeah, our conversations go all over the place.
Oh yeah.
One of the things I like about the group, you're not
just having fun, and saying the stupid crap just cause.
All right, I think I'm going to call this done. I mean, I could keep putzing with it.
I think I'm done for the night anyways because my battery's at 10 and I probably need to. I'll probably work on mine tomorrow. I'll try to do like an art stream.
I got to do some video editing and get the replay up.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember to hit record. Yes. Okay, good. I mean, I use Streamlabs OBS or Streamlabs desktop. So even though this is a virtual camera, so what you see on screen is what Streamlabs is putting out. But at the same time, I'm also recording the Streamlabs input. So I have a video without all the stuff, from the stream on it. So like when you and I are up on stream together, I'm not recording that. I'm recording the actual source. So I have just the art.
That's cool.
All right. All right, RM. You have anything to promote or talk about before we call it a night?
I plan on doing more of this in the future. When I get chances, I'll try to join and when you guys
you're
pass
welcome.
collabs.
But I know it's a late night for you.
Yeah.
Don't burn the candle at both ends too often because it'll wear you out.
Oh, I know. I try to. I should say. I try not to burn out the candles at both ends. I should say. Yeah. I agree there. I know that next year is going to be a very packed year on multiple fronts. Just in entertainment and just everything. Yeah. Well, peace out, everybody. I guess.
All right. Good night.
Yeah, have a good night, man.
One last look. Here's my Ahsoka for the night.
Yes.
Took me
That
2
looks
nights
awesome.
to get that off.
That does look awesome.
All right. Thanks, RM. Thanks for joining me. Everybody to watch. Thanks for joining in. Take care.
Yep.
Good night.
Yeah, have a good one, man.